What's your lads, welcome to Oak Swamp and part 36 of the Austin 10 Special Rat. Now you find me with Sassaroo and the air rifle, and she's just about to take a pot shot at the old wardrobe, and she'll be picking the winner of the very first Oak Swamp t-shirt a bit later. Anyway, my main objective this week is to get Ian back in the chassis. I need to refit the front shocks, and I need to finish the brakes, which means making up some brake rods and some other bits. But before I start all of that, I've got them upside down, and I'm going to be finishing off these little bits of welding. I didn't finish it round here and inside here, and the same on that one. I've got some bits under here I've got to trim up and finish welding, and I've got some bits around this back. So this week we start with a bit of welding. This bit where the brake comes through here, it's a bit of a weak spot, so I'm gonna cut a couple of these, and then I'm gonna put it in upright like that, and then I'll put one across there as well. Belt and braces.
What made you think it's so hot? I love her just the same. Crazy about a woman, cause God knows her name.
Okay, that puts a little bit more strength in, makes a bit of a box out of this. Probably going to be strong enough, and then I've got to do the same this side. Okay, I'm heading up the front, and I'm going to start getting the holes done and get these U-bolts done properly now, so I can bolt the front end on. And the first job is drilling the hole all the way through. It only went to the top half, so I'm going to bung some holes through here. What I've done is I've relieved all the holes up so it's all nice and loose going in now. It was a little bit tight before. I made the bolts fit properly because these fit in there, and then captive bolt on the top there. Now these bottom pieces, I'm just about to weld these in. Right, these U-bolts I've made, I'm going to just tidy up, so I'm going to start by welding them up, and then I'll clean them up a bit. Right, so that's these all nicely sorted, and they're all moving nicely and smoothly, and that just bolt up. I've started getting the nuts ready for these, and I'm going to bolt these on. Right, this front axle, there's a couple of bits of weld missing. There's a little bit of missing around there and here.
For 7 long years she held me spin my nose. Now I take her out, but she don't 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pounds of chain. That woman's got me drinking, we used to have some fun.
What I'm doing here is I'm just taking the very edge off so it feels as though it's been worn and that'll rust in nicely and it won't look as though it's just been cut out of a bit of sheet.
Now strings and astrologers have got me on the road. That woman's got me drinking, look at the state I'm in. Give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pounds of gin.
Right, I've got to clean these 2 U-bolts up I've made. They've been welded up, just a big grind up again. I'm doing a lot of grinding this weekend. It's the last time I'm going to touch these, hopefully.
She said she'd always love me, she said I was the one. Now look the way she treats me, just like a piece of skull. That woman's got me drinking, look at the state I'm in.
Right, I'm going to use these zinc 10mm bolts and what I'm going to do is cut them down to the size I want and then I'm going to whip the zinc off so they rust.
If I had the guts to do it, I'd take a long goodbye. Instead I love her long and hard until the day I die.
Okay, but that's the first time the front end's ever been bolted in properly. So all the springs are bolted up. I'm going to bung them wheels on here for a minute and then I'm going to put the back axle in. Front feels a lot stiffer now. Now it's all bolted up properly. Right, this is the lower mount from the lower joint. So I've got to weld those bits up, just tidy up the holes. And I need to put a hole on the bottom there because it's likely to fill up with water.
That woman's got me drinking, look at the state I'm in. Give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pounds of gin. Give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 bottles of gin. Bottles of gin. Bottles of gin. Bottles of gin. Bottles of gin.
So this morning you might be wondering why I'm wearing this silly hat, but me and Sean are popping out in the old Exo booster and we're going to try it with no helmets today, Sean, aren't we?
Yeah.
If you don't know about this, this is a Hayabusa turbo. What, 350 horse?
No, it's on low boost at the moment, so it's about 250.
250 horse in an Exo frame, and it's called an Exo booster. And we went out on this before and it absolutely flies. Now this is always fun getting in this because it's got a 4-point harness.
Yeah, sort of wriggle that bit around.
Oh, I see, yeah. Fortunately the Austin won't have seat belts of any description. You can see it's quite cosy in here. Oh, we've got leg protectors now then, Sean.
Yeah.
It's quite a squeeze getting in here, but once you're in, there's no falling out. There we go. I can't reach the GoPro. Right, I'm going goggleless because I forgot to get some out of the garage. This is a tester for the Austin because I'm not going to have a windscreen in the Austin, so it's going to be like this continually. Oh, it's not that cold, is it? Not yet. Really quite invigorating. So what we're going to do as a trial, you've just seen my face at 30 miles an hour with no windscreen. So what we're going to do is go up the motorway, go to 40, 50 and whatever Sean wants to take us to see what sort of facial reaction miles per hour does. Still good. Still good on the eye. Right, we're going on the motorway. So more open face stuff.
I bet you're cold on that.
That's alright. I don't know if you saw it, but we had a nice little, the back end went out earlier, didn't it? Went out nicely, Sean, as you accelerated up, as the turbo came in.
I don't know, we were in third.
You went right out, didn't you? Lush. Right. It looks a mean bastard out here, Mesh. Right, we're going home to drink some coffee now. Time to refit these front shock absorbers. I don't know if these shock absorbers are going to be good enough really, but it's a very small amount of weight. The rear ones are going to be plenty enough. They're going to be more than enough. You can see how that works in there, look. See the rubber in there? And you tighten this up and it squeezes. I'm just going to whip this little corner off here. I'm going to do is bend that one over and put a bolt through here.
Guess it's just because I am a man that's gone and done his good one wrong. But I can't eat, I can't sleep. All I can do is cry. All I can do is cry.
going to drill down through there.
Trying to hide the trash that you found.
Okay, next job, brakes. So I'm going to start by putting all the brake shoes back on, put the drums back on, and then we'll crack into the rods.
I can't eat, I can't sleep. All I can do is cry. All I can do is
There's no adjustment on these hubs at all. All the adjustment is done via the rod. If you're new to the series, you won't know nothing about the brakes, so I'm going to do a little bit of a recap. The pedal stayed in its original place, and it's doing exactly the same as it was. But when it came back to here, the rods came inside and then ran down through to the back, and then cables to the front. Now, because I've lowered this, I don't want anything hanging down the bottom. So what I did was I got my mate Benny to machine this up. All these ends come off the Citroen B10, the Frog, and he's put flats in for me, so now we've got a straight run right the way across, and all the brake arms are outside the vehicle, so you got no fouling where your feet are. Right, for cables for the front, what I'm using is this trailer cable. Now, I went up in suspension and these were about 25 quid for the pair, but it's a basic cable, got an 8mm thread on one end and it's got a nipple on the other end. This piece here was off the original Austin cable, so I kept that, and what I've done with this, just inside here I put a thread. Now this thread slips lovely over the top there, right, and it gets rid of all the nonsense, and you got a nice brass nut there. And this brass nut here, what this does, it goes through here, and you wind it onto there, look, and then your cable runs into there like that, does that, and that keeps that cable secure. Right, so this end I got was this little adapter which goes on the end of this, which is this is for handbrake on a cable, so it's going to be pretty tough. And what that does, that just sinks into there, and you give it a little push down and it does that. Now these little bits here are made up before they're only tacked together. It's only a temporary measure, but this piece goes into there and secures it, you see. Right, and what I'm doing is I'm using a clevis on the end to terminate it, just for the minute. And the plan is to make this rigid. So if I run the thread directly through here and push it up against there, that'll make that rigid. So I'm just going to bolt that on through that spare hole there. Right, now my plan is to run a rod between there and there. If I run this all the way in, see that, and that makes it into one rigid unit. It needs to be longer, so what I'm going to have to do, first job is alter that, give us a bit more cable. I think I'm going to put a tube around that so it can slide over it. And if I get a bit of tube that fits, the OD is that and the ID is that. I like the idea of making something that's got that as an ID and that as an OD, but it's going to be thin. Yeah. Well, that was really easy. I didn't expect it to work that easy and that quick. Right, I better check the steering as well. Yeah. Go on, baby. That's just going to come back to there. So, this court's cleared it all. Oh, that's what I need, something that does that. With a grease nipple on there, that'll give that a nice little bit of slot, it won't move anywhere. Found this drag link over in the woods, must have been off the hook. And I'm really hoping the ID is something like that. Look at that. Look at that, that's perfect. Right, there's no way it's going to fit over the top, because look. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a length of this, and then weld a little bit of this on the end, and this bit rolls out here, and I can put the bracket off a bit. Yeah. There you go, a little bit of grinding and that looks alright. Now I can fit this to here and then bolt it on, see if it happens. Okay, there you are. So this bit goes into here, leaving this little piece out here. And then this fella, there you go. Now the cable's got absolutely no chance of getting out of there whatsoever. Let me put this one on. This one would get a pinch here. Let's see what it does. Oh yeah, well, that's banging. Now if you want to adjust it, you come out this end. This I'm going to put a grease nipple on, so every time this goes in and out of here it's in grease. Put a little clip there and that'll hold it. Right, that's one side done. That's banging. Really happy with that. Moves that around. And this misses the steering completely. If you look down there. Loads of room for the steering. The other side is going to be even easier because there's nothing in the way. Right, so I'll put this tube in there and then that. That should keep her pretty central. Get the rubber dubber doo. That it, mate, you lend me this old tap and die set. Now if you're a regular viewer, you're probably wondering why I haven't got any bloody tools. Well, the truth of the matter is, I lived on a boat for 10 years, so I had nowhere to really work on stuff. Apart from boats. Ugh. Need to live in a boat in this weather. Sun's out and it's pouring. Okay, but there's the first one. Well, there's the basic idea. Cable can't come off. I put a grease nipple on it and then that'll always stay nicely greased. You never see the end of the cable, so it's never going to get shit in it. Okay, onto these rear brake rods. We have to come from him to this one. Now I've bent him once before just to see how far I go over, but what I've done is given myself a massive obstacle by this rear shock a little bit, but I'm happy because I like where he is. So I've got to try and squeeze through there, but I'm thinking what I'm going to do is lean this over a bit and bend that there a little bit. I could really do a hot spanner on this, but I'll put some heat on it. It's only skinny, that bit. Okay, that looks a bit better, doesn't it? Should just about clear the tyres. Should just about isn't good enough, but I think it will. Now, these little clevises I bought were about £4 each, but they're pretty tough. They look pretty good. Let's see how tight this is going to be. It's going to be super tight, I know it is. Okay, so with it in, look what it does. Bang. But then I started thinking, and I looked at this, and I swapped it round like that. So now this is upside down. It does exactly the same thing, you see. Look. There's no lead and shoe in this day and age. So now it's going to go like that, something. But I'm pretty pleased with that. That goes straight down there. It's not going to hit anything. It's only coming up, isn't it? These end pieces here that go on here, I've got to change the eye round. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop down a Ted's, because I think he's got some oxyacetylene. I'm going to get him to twist that round so it's facing that way. So then that'll be like that. I can go straight through with the bar on it, and the adjustment's right there. So all my adjustment will be right beside there. Mate,
You alright?
how you doing?
Yeah, not bad.
Got a nice simple one today.
Hello, mate. How you doing, alright?
Alright, brother.
Good, Harry.
You know this was just an excuse to come and see you, don't you? Because it's a tiny little... This is what I'm on about.
These little brackets.
Yeah, these little steering arms, what I want is that facing that way. So heat here and then twist like that. They are forged, so they should be alright. But they need a lot more heat than I can give them.
Quite a long way to go, isn't it?
It is a long way to go. I reckon it will though, with enough heat, don't
Well,
you?
we can put some heat on it and give it a go for you. Get this red hot and we'll see what happens
Well, there you go. That looks better, doesn't it?
You there, aren't you?
Yeah, little fella. That's a fella. What this is going to do, that'll poke straight through that hole, and that goes straight into there. Now all I've got to do is put a little bit of thread on here, take a bit of thread to about an inch either side of that, and that's all that needs doing on the back. How easy was that? Right, I'll get these threads cut another one for the other side. I think I'm going to set the steering up a bit so it can steer, and then I'm going to push it outside and give it a little bit of a brake test. Just a bit of a roll and see what happens. Beautiful. Starting to get a bit chilly, boys. Right, lads are back from school. What I'm going to do is they're going to push me, and I'm going to try and stop me pushing. See how shit these brakes are. You ready, lads?
Yeah, 3, 2.
Go. Come on. Harder. Harder. Faster. Yeah, baby, they work. Awesome. Thank you very much, chaps. There you go. Lock the front wheels up really easy. And the thing is, there's not going to be ever so much weight on that. If it locks it up that easy, with them two nippers pushing me. Well, you think I'm probably bloody mad rusting that, but you'll see what I mean later. Once I finished him, last night Paul dropped me off this tap, which is for grease nipples. So I'm going to be putting a few grease nipple wells and stuff. I want to put it on this clutch lever because it needs it. On these bushes, on these end bushes here, I'm going to put one in the middle just so they get greased up. And then I'm going to put some on these for the brakes. I've not done cable brakes before, and I'm quite enjoying them. They're pretty straightforward. But I think the main thing you have to do with them is to keep it all loose. That seems to be the idea. So by putting grease nipples in and just making everything run free, that should be bang on. My old man always said to me, put a little light one on first, and then when you're happy with it, give it the proper one. Like that. I always give it a proper turn, because the bigger the hole the better, in my opinion. Especially when you're doing it with a cordless. blunt drills. The final drill's alright because Paul's brought me this nice sharp one, but the initial drills are going to be slow. Warren Besterveld Trefolex. Smells like metalwork at school. That's a bit of E on him, didn't we? Okay, where this sits in here, I'm going to put a little grub screw just there. Really must buy a decent tap and die set. The trouble is, nowadays, I don't know what to buy. Because everything's so crusty. Lovely. Number one. Right, and the final nipples have got to go into this clutch lever and the brake lever. This should be fun. Now this brake lever, it surprised me because it hasn't got any nipple on it at all, right from the factory. And when I took it off originally, it was severely stiff, so I think this is going to be doing it a big favour. Hello, I hear a V8. Who's this? A Mustang. Who is it? That's a ferret. Yeah, it's a ferret in a Mustang. How you doing, Liz? Where'd you get this?
Well, the other week.
Cool, isn't it?
Sat in the garage for a couple of years.
Nice, isn't it?
I just put titterbating it and
What engine?
302.
Oh, sweet. Really nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Stay. We're going to go round the block.
Hey?
We're going to go round the block.
Yeah, go on then.
Mustang. Everyone needs a pony in their life. Oh, this is nice, isn't it? Ooh,
It's lovely.
she is lively, isn't she? That feels lush, man.
Yeah, it's a bit rickety, but just needs a bit of work.
Knowing Jeff being the ferret, he probably paid next to nothing for this. I'm not even gonna ask him because he won't tell me.
No, I won't.
Told you. This is lush, man. I love the power bolt. What year is this?
69.
69.
Yeah, 302. And it's power brakes, power steering. It did have aircon, but the bloke took it all out. So
I don't blame him.
yeah,
Don't need aircon in this country, do you? Cheers, man. Take it easy out there on these slippery roads.
Yeah, mate, she's live on
You taking this to Wickham?
Yeah.
Good lad. If I don't hurry up, I'll be coming with you.
See you later.
See you later, brother. Right, so on to the tip jar. This week's tip jarians are as follows. Rob Barrett, Paul Gunnell, Chris Blade, aka Rangy Man, Dave Wiles, Dave Harper from Scotland, and my old mate Rue Coleman. Cheers, lads. Also this week, a care package arrived for me today from a guy called Totty, and he kindly dropped off this lovely ammo box, load of stud bar there, fluid transfer pump, set of gilbos, impact driver, and my favourite bit of wood. Look at that, Imperial snap-on spanners. Cheers Totty, you're a dude, man. Moving swiftly on, Sassa's all locked and loaded, and she's going to be taking a pot shot at the old wardrobe, and she's going to be picking the winner of the first Oak Swamp t-shirt. Now it's available in grey, and it's also available in black. Now on this wardrobe is every single person who has contributed to the channel.
Is it going that way?
Okay, for safety first, I've got Sass a pair of goggles, and if you look, there's not much vision for him, and that's kind of the idea, because I don't want her to have an advantage. Right, pop your old goggles on, sweetie. I'll get this gun ready for you. And,
Ooh, yay.
you ready? Can you see anything?
It's just all misty.
Is it?
Yeah.
Right, here we go. Shoot! Oh! Oh, Jesus! It really does mark it, doesn't it? Right, load her up again. Here we go again. Right, you ready?
Yeah.
Ready, steady, go. Jesus. Can you see?
There you go, got some.
It's between two of them. Look, it's between Liam Joel Street and Peter Spillman.
Yeah.
What, should we give them both a t-shirt?
Yeah, I think you should, because it's on both of them, isn't it?
Okay, well, Liam Joel Street and Peter Spillman, you both are getting an Oak Swamp t-shirt. You can contact me at oakswamprats@gmail.com. There's a link in the description to that. Now, this t-shirt design was kindly done by a fellow YouTuber called Stefan Marjoram. If you follow the channel, you might remember some time back that Stefan did a pencil drawing of his interpretation of how the wrap was going to look. Now, he's designed the t-shirt design around that original drawing, so it's really cool. Now, he's also got a YouTube channel, and on his YouTube channel he draws classic cars, he draws all sorts of stuff, and he gives you an idea of how to draw the cars yourself using perspective and different mediums and what have you. When you finish watching this today, please go over and have a look at Stefan's channel. You'll be surprised. His drawing is unbelievable, and the subject matter is what we like best: vintage cars. Well, thanks a lot, Sass. You got a nice brown bit on your nose.
Alright. These bloody goggles.
Right, I've got to make two of these. Oops.
It's like all I have has gone under the moon, beneath the sun. Your tempered glass to smash and run. You are the winter, I am the lull before the storm.
happy with this because it kind of follows the chassis and the chassis drops away, and then this goes at the angle and it nearly, just very nearly lines up with that. I can blame him, this is heavy. It's first thing Sunday morning. Right, unless you're ready, you can put your gearbox on. Go on, you're nearly there.
I've fallen off the track, off of the wagon that I'd hoped would have served to bring me back. Your face shows no emotions. I'm like the big calm waters off the coast of the greatest ocean, and I could be the sea or the rug that under it.
Right, we're nearly there, lads. I'll get Ian fired up, just check that head gasket problem, plumb and wire in, put the fuel tank on, run the fuel lines through, finish off the odds and sods on the brakes, put the body on, and then we'll be going for a drive. Now, if you want to see that, if you're not subscribed, make sure you do. Leave me a comment, a like. If you're feeling flush, leave me a couple of quid in the tip jar, and I'll catch you dudes next time. Hang loose.
Happy birthday to you.
Jeffrey the Wonder House. Right.
Jeffrey the Wonder House.
Happy birthday to you.
Ranger Man. My main objective this week is to wipe my mouth. I have to refit. Fuck's sake, come on. My main objective this week is to get Ian back in the shower. Come on, it's because I'm holding it with my left hand, that's the problem. Because I don't want her to have an advantage of being able to be enabled. I don't want her to have the advantage of being able to be enabled. I don't want her to be able to see, to be fair.
Happy birthday, dear Brian. Happy birthday.